Alright guys, back to our daily drive. So just left the student now, and then we are off towards Mill Hill. Seatbelt first. There we go. So looking around, safety checks, nice and clear. Roads are actually really quiet today, so I don't know if it's going to be worth our drive. Little note here, notice the windscreen, okay? Make sure you have a nice clear windscreen every time you drive. So I'll just pop the wipers on and it just makes the world of difference. So that's just me, but I prefer it when it's nice and clear. So let me just lower the seat a little bit just in case you guys can't see properly. Alright, so coming up to the end of the road, zebra crossing, see those pedestrians right there. I've spotted them already, nice and early. Most likely they're going to use it because it's so close to it, but you never know. There we go. That's how you have to spot it. Okay, nice and early. Another one on the right hand side, island crossing. She's really close to it anyway, so we are gonna go when it's safe. There's it, lovely. Scan both sides, give way lines at the end, checking, nice and clear, off we go. Smooth early gear changes, nice and relaxed. Take your time whenever you're doing. Zebra crossing ahead, dead clear. Alright, easy. Driving, as I say, it can be so easy, very easy to stress out. I was just telling my student, like, you just have to, I mean, it's easy to say you have to be more confident, but you really have to go in thinking that you're the boss, you know? You're the person in charge of the car, and so just enjoy the moment, take your time. During the test, the examiner's just sitting there as like a innocent bystander, you know, just sitting there. Treat it like it's an Uber drive. You're taking them from one place to another, and then you're coming back to the test center. You kind of have to really mentally psych yourself out of any pressure. So, you know, I've had a few students messaging and telling me that, you know, they're finding it stressful for tests and stuff like this. So, you know, it's just one of those things you just have to cope with. It's very difficult. I was saying there are two parts to this driving test. One, or the practical test I should say, one is the physical part of driving, how you drive generally, you know, your steering, the rules and all the regulations, etc. And the other part, literally as important as the first, is the mind games, the mindset behind it, the psychological aspect of it. You know, are you confident enough? You've just got to be you know, able to block out all that pressure. It's so hard to do, very easy to say, obviously, but you know, it's one of those things you really have to think about. I've come across a lot of students, literally like the other day, one of my students failed the driving test just because they were so anxious. They'd done a test before and they were less nervous in the first test than they were in the second, because obviously now more pressure builds up. You know, you're paying more money and you know you want to pass, etc, etc. But you know, you have to take all of those things out. The moment that's gone out of your mind, the things change. So for example, if that student didn't think about it being his second test and, you know, going up to that driving test nice and relaxed, you know, as if money was no object, you know, it doesn't matter how many times you end up doing the driving test, you know, come back tomorrow, do it again, come back again, do it again. No, just think of it like that. Obviously this is not reality, I know that, but you have to think of it like that. And if you can get your mind into that sort of, you know, shape, you'll be absolutely fine. I remember when I was doing my my driving test to become a teacher, I was doing it and I was so nervous sitting in the test center. I was shaking. I had a piece of paper in my hand going through all the different notes, what I needed to do, because this is a teaching part of the test. We've got roundabout coming up, so let's go left for you guys. So let's go left and then let's have a look. So look at the silver car as a blocker, the black car, blocker. Now once they block, I can take advantage. So you don't go straight away. You can see that silver car came out in that meantime, okay? So you don't go straight away. Make sure the blocker is blocking, okay? Then it really makes a difference. Otherwise the blocker's just there waiting, and then you're gonna make an error with that silver car. So another roundabout, I'm looking opposite. They're not signaling. A little glance here, but then back again to that side. Attention where it counts. Keeping the attention mainly 95% on the right hand side, because the left hand side have to give way to me. So why would I spend more attention on the left hand side? Okay, I'm going to use the left hand side to my advantage because they're going to help block the vehicles. So that's a different aspect. But you know, sometimes students are looking in the wrong direction for too long. Get back to where it's important. Focus on that side. We're going to come to another roundabout now. All right, so we're going to turn. We're going to go straight ahead. I'm looking early already. Look, I know where the road shapes. I'm looking at a silver car. There is a blocker, but that blocker is not helping yet. And then as we go, it's clear to go. There you go. Nice. And I know that guy, so I hope that makes sense. So that's mini roundabouts. I need to do more sort of repetitive junctions like that with you guys. So hopefully when I get time, probably I don't think I'll get much time this month, but next month hopefully I'll be able to do a bit more, and I'll just spend some time just going through some of the routes and going over those roundabouts again and again. But yeah, as I was saying, going back to the mindset thing, good. Just gonna stationary objects, so you can overtake on a stationary, you can overtake on a zigzag if they're stationary. Okay, just keep that in mind. If they're moving, you can't be overtaking. Watch this hazard here. They're gonna try and turn, and then lovely high roads. High roads are always like that. Yeah, sorry, going back to the mindset thing. Yeah, you really just have to psych yourself out. So when I was in the waiting room waiting to do my we call it a part 3 driving test, which is the final part, and I was shaking, my hands were really nervous, and then in the end I was like, okay, what's the worst case scenario? I have to come back and do it again. Yes, it's going to cost me money. Yes, it's, you know, a headache, etc. And you want to get it done first time, but I just literally psyched myself out, and I just said, I don't care. I pass or fail, I don't care now. I've done all the hard work. Let me just go and do and see what happens. And I just literally went in nice and chilled. All those nerves went weirdly. That was really strange, and you know, because it's not easy to get out of that state. So I'm gonna go right at this roundabout, 3rd exit. I wonder if it was being quicker the other way, but doesn't matter. Have a look. See all those cars. Every single lane is important. I don't want to go when cars come. Look at that van. He's cut to the left lane at the end. So he was in the 3rd lane, and in the end he went to the left lane. So imagine I was on the left hand side and I wanted to just go left first exit. Some students think, oh, I can go, he's in the 3rd lane. No, you can't. People change lanes so drastically on roundabouts, it's unbelievable. So you want all your lanes to be clear, except for the ones who are leaving, like that black car's leaving, obviously. Then everyone else is still coming. But that's really important. I'm glad I've managed to catch that. Hopefully you can see it on the camera. And then now you can see the cars have stopped. Their lights are going to change, but I can probably beat them to it. I'm looking ahead quickly. Then again, always look ahead quickly, because you need to make sure there's no traffic build up here. That signal's turned off, so I put it back on. I angle my car, and that's my 2nd exit. So as soon as I'm going across that section there, diagonally opposite, I'm going to start thinking about leaving. Now look at this black car. They've got the signal on. Can you see it? That means they're coming round with me. So when I try and change lanes, they're the ones I've got to be careful of. So now I'm going to take my time. Wow, it's really hot in my car. So they've moved off fast, so they're out of my problem. They're out of my way, I should say. Signal left. Start looking around. Look in front. Look on the side. Look in front. Look on the side. The steering wheel gradually gets undone. I am not turning my wheel. I'm literally undoing the wheel. So a huge difference. Okay, I see students, they want to leave and they just suddenly go, oh, like that. No, you undo your wheel, glide it out, and the rest is easy. Okay, meeting situations again. Okay, now hopefully you guys know when that sign comes up with the flashing lights, what does it mean? 20 miles an hour zone. Okay, so 20 mile an hour zone because of the schools. So once the school area is finished, there's no sign telling you to go back to 30, but you're gonna have to use your own judgment with that. Okay, so that's where the school is, so we're gonna go straight ahead, and as I pass this sort of area a little bit further, then I'm gonna go and then I can probably try and pick up a little bit later. But you give it a little bit of time. The whole zone and sort of area is part of it. There might be another sign there telling us that it's also a school. There's a hazard there. Let me just see if that's also the flashing one. Yep, that's another one. So from that point now, I know I can go back. But you're not expected to look that around like that. So that's just me kind of giving you an idea as to how far ahead the zone could be. Okay. Now I'm looking. Car coming. Slow approach. Nice and smooth. Double check both sides. Always double check. I was telling someone just today, they were jumping out at junctions, and I was like, you have to keep looking, especially at these blind junctions. Do not stop looking. It's an absolute nightmare. It can be really dangerous. So yeah, Also, when I did my motorbike test, and I really wanted my license for the motorbike. It was one of those things that's like a little dream. I always wanted to ride one, and I was so nervous. It was hilarious how nervous I was, because my hands were shaking, and my instructor was laughing because I was a driving instructor at that time as well still, and he was like, Ahmed, you tell all your students to be chilled and relaxed, but look at you. And I was like, I know, it's easy to say, isn't it? So it was a good experience for me, because obviously I've kind of forgotten how it felt when I was a student doing my driving test. But when I did the motorbike test, everything came back again. I realized what you guys go through again. And that's a nice little reminder. Keeps me humble as well, because I can easily tell a student, oh, just relax. But I realize and I remember it's hard to do that. It's not always straightforward. So, but what then made it nicer and easier for me, because there were two parts to the motorbike test. The first part, you can't do the second part unless you pass the first part. It's a bit like theory and practical, but in the motorbike test you have maneuvers in one test, and then you have the ride on the other test, on the main roads. So I wanted to get the maneuvers one out of the way, and that was stressing me out, because I was like, I know I can ride, I know all the rules on the road because I'm a driving instructor, and I just needed to get to that stage. But the maneuvers part was holding me back, making, unless I did that, I wouldn't be able to do that. So that's what got me nervous. I was trying to make a joke with the examiner, my voice didn't come out, it was just hilarious. It was a joke, but I passed it, got through it, managed to cope with the nerves. And then when it came to the second part of the exam, when you're driving on the street, I didn't care, because that exam you could just keep doing again and again and again and again. Doesn't really matter. Same with the first, but I needed to get to the second one, and I know it's going to cost me money, but I was like, okay, there's no job relying on it, there's no pressure from any family members or anything related to it, so let me just go and enjoy it and relax, and I know how to drive. So that sort of mindset, really, that test was in the end was really, really good. I ended up acing through that, but alhamdulillah, it was just a mindset. You really have to fight it. So if you can work on the psychological aspect of it, then it makes a massive difference. I'm going to stop on the curb a little bit here. It makes a massive difference. So hope that's helped. I was waffling a lot. A few things came up there, which was quite good. Roundabouts and meeting and high streets and psychological aspects, but sometimes you don't get the opportunity to talk about this sort of stuff, and it's really, really important. So hopefully that helps. I shall see you on the next daily drive. Take care, guys. All the best with your learning.